Hey everyone, welcome back to Positively Fishing. Today I'm out on a lake doing a little spring crappie fishing using a very simple technique that you can use anywhere you go. Let's see how I do. Stay tuned. There's one. Found him. All right, nice little crappie. Well, second crappie of the day. Not too bad. Get him back. I think I found the school. Gonna keep after it. Stay tuned. Some on the other side now. What are we doing over here? They're over here now. There's one. Oh, it's a white bass. Took me by surprise. Came up and smacked it. I was not expecting this. I knew these guys were in here. This isn't exactly what I expected. That's a pretty nice white bass right there. It's almost like I'm back out on the river again. There's a big school down there. I'm not sure if it's crappies or white bass. I'll put up a screenshot right here. And all those little black circles off to the left side are shadows from fish. And I was going along and I had been fishing off the right side of the boat, and I noticed all those fish were off to the left side, and I took a cast over there and got that white bass. Gonna get back after it. Stay tuned. I got a nice little pile of crappies right here though. There's one. It's a decent one. Well, here's another nice little crappie. Talk a little bit about what I'm doing here. Basically, I've just got a 16th ounce jig right here. This is a pink and white one, which is one of my favorite colors of jigs for this crappie fishing. But really any jig color would work fine. And then my favorite color of plastic is this blue silver. I think this is a Kalen's blue silver, just a little twister tail. And really all I'm doing right now is watching my side imaging to see which side the fish are on. Right now I'm seeing there's some on the left side. So I'm just gonna cast out over there and just let it drop a little bit and then just slowly reel it in, and there one is. And that's really all there is to this technique right now. I'm in about 7.5 feet of water. I'm around some weeds. This is a little bit smaller one, but that's pretty much all I'm doing. And you can fish this a couple different ways. You can do what I'm doing right now, where I'm just casting it out and then slowly reeling it back in. Or if your school of crappies is a little bit more spread out, you can actually troll these, usually like right under a mile an hour. Troll it right along a weed line, and that can be really effective. And the other way is to put it under a bobber and cast it out and then slowly work its way back to the boat. And all those can be really effective. And now I'm seeing a whole bunch of fish right off to this side of the boat. So I'm just casting it out, let it drop a tiny bit, and then I'm reeling it just fast enough to get that little twister tail moving. And then I'm just waiting for a bite. But I'm gonna keep after it and see if I can get a whole bunch more. Stay tuned. There's one. There's one. Oh, that's a decent one. It's a pretty nice one right there. All right, it's another nice crappie. Get him back, see if we can get some more. This is fun. Here's your Positively Fishing quick tip of the day. I'm fishing a school of crappies right now. And the way I started out is I was moving up and down this weed edge. This area's got a bunch of weeds in it, and I'm moving around these weeds. And I've been going back and forth, and I've noticed that the crappies are schooled up in one area. And a lot of times these schools of crappies, they'll be moving constantly. They're all over the place. 1 minute they're over here, 1 minute they're over here. And you have to really keep moving around to look around for them. And This spring, so far, that's what I've had to do. I've had to chase these schools of crappies around. Today, what it's looking more like is this school is kind of hanging out in one spot. So what I decided to do is just spot lock. And now I'm just gonna cast around. I'm gonna keep an eye on my side imaging, see which side of the boat they're on, cast around. If I don't see any for a couple casts, then I'll start moving around. It's important to really keep an eye on your electronics and trust what you see. If you're seeing all the fish in the same area, then just stay in that area. But if the fish are moving around, make sure that you are moving around and following those fish. All right, I'm gonna get back after it. Stay tuned. Oh my goodness gracious.
What?
That is nuts. There are a lot of fish around the boat right now. I'll let it drop a little more. There's one. Ooh. It's another pretty nice crappie right there. Get that guy back. See if we can get some more. So today the technique that I've been using is just a simple cast out, let it drop a little bit, and then slowly reel it back in. Sometimes I'll pause it a little bit and let it drop, and there's a fish. Right when I paused it, got one. So, nice little crappie. And I've been just catching a whole bunch of them doing that technique. Get this guy off. Nice little crappie. However, if you're fishing with someone with a little less experience, or fishing with a kid, and they're struggling with casting it out and reeling it in and keeping it off the weeds and everything, there's a simple modification that you can make, and that's just adding on a bobber. So just a little small ultralight rocket bobber right here. And real simple, I'm just gonna on maybe 2.5 feet or so. So that's hanging about 2.5 feet below the surface. Just a simple cast out to wherever your fish are, let it drop. And then you, oh, I think I already might have already had a bite here. You can twitch it a little bit. You can slowly reel it in. Slowly reel, oh, there's fish. So that can be a way that if you're fishing with kids or someone less experienced, you can just throw a little bobber on there, figure out how deep you need to be, and then just cast it out and either slowly reel it in, or you can twitch it a little bit. Or what I usually do if I'm fishing with kids is I'll toss it out, or I'll have them toss it out, and then I'll tell them a number. Take 2 cranks and then pause. So crank, crank, pause. And then maybe one crank, pause. And mix it up a little bit, so 2 cranks, pause. And then I think I just had a bite, so we'll give it one more crank. And what that's doing is the bobber's keeping it the right depth, but the bait's kind of coming up and then falling, and then coming up and then falling, and it's getting that little tail on the plastic to move. So there's a few different ways you can fish it, but if you've got the bobber on there, you know that it's not going to get too deep and get into the weeds. And I think when I got a bite, yep, that happens. So I had a bite and it pulled my plastic down on my jig. Yep, there's one. There's one. So here's another one with the bobber technique. Some days the bobber technique is the only thing that works, but it can be really, really effective, especially if you're fishing with someone who's having trouble keeping it out of the weeds, keeping it at the right depth.
Yep.
There's one. Well, that's a pretty decent one. All right, well, just got that little guy. There are a whole bunch of fish in this area, and I never like to leave fish to find fish, but I'm just curious about a couple more spots. So we're gonna make a little run here. Stay tuned. Actually, it's video, so you don't have to wait. It'll be here like right now. Just got to the new spot, and we're gonna give this a try for a little while. See if we can get something going. I'm just getting into the area right now, and I'm not really seeing anything yet, but we're still a little bit off the edge. So pull in here a little bit more and see what we see. There's one. I guess we are in the right spot after all. First cast. All right. Kind of a smaller one, but still fun to catch. We're gonna keep going. Get a whole bunch of these guys. Stay tuned. There, oh. No. So far, the fish were bigger in the last spot. We'll see if that continues. See that? Right in front of the boat. See how it looks like the water's boiling? Those are crappies. Yep. There's one. That's cheating. I don't know how well that played out on video, but right out in front of the boat, there was a school of crappies that were boiling on the surface. And if you see that happening, cast right in there, and you're probably gonna get one. There's one. Well, we're on our 5th spot of the day now. Just caught that little guy. It's kind of interesting. It looks like 3 of the spots have been good, and 2 of the spots no good. Oh, there, I just missed another one. There's one. So sometimes you just need to keep moving around till you find out where they're hanging out. Another pretty nice one. And again, the important thing that I'm doing is using my electronics to try to locate the fish before I spend a lot of time fishing there. The 2 spots that were duds, I only fished for about 5-10 minutes before I moved on because I wasn't marking anything on the locator. Sorry about that though. The wife stood up to take a picture of an eagle diving for a fish, and I did not want to get yelled at for getting in the way. So, did you get the picture?
Yep.
She got the picture. And if it turns out, it'll be right here. Oh, I set the hook right as I did that. There's a lot going on right now. Ooh, this one is a horse. I haven't been measuring any of these yet, but I bet that's my heaviest one of the day so far anyway. It's a nice crappie. Get that one back, see if we can get a couple more before it gets dark. Stay tuned. There's one. And this is the fish we're gonna end on. Better stop the trolling motor because we're doing donuts now. This is the fish we're gonna end on right here. So get that guy back. Well, that's gonna do it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't yet, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It really helps us out a lot. Give us a like and leave those comments down below. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Oh, come on, Paul. That one jerked the rod out of my hand. It didn't though, because I'm tough. 4 inches long.